Welcome back to the channel, Soap fans. If you have been keeping up with the latest teasers for the week of June 8th through the 12th, you already know that all hell is about to break loose at the Salem Inn. Gwen Rizczech is standing in that dimly lit hotel hallway, her heart pounding out of her chest, furiously banging on the heavy wooden door of a room she just absolutely knows is occupied by the man she loves, Xander Kiriakis. But he isn't alone in there. Oh no. Inside that very room, Xander is getting entirely too cozy with none other than the ultimate Black Widow of Salem herself, Kristen DiMera. That's crazy. Gwen is screaming through the wood, demanding that Xander open the door, and she is absolutely refusing to leave until he faces her. The sheer tension of this moment is off the charts, and I am literally on the edge of my seat waiting for that door handle to turn. Let's be real for a second. This is nothing short of a psychological masterpiece being painted by the Days of Our Lives writing team. To truly understand the gravity of this hallway standoff, we have to peel back the deeply damaged layers of Gwen Rizczech's psyche. A lot of fans think Gwen is just a bitter, jealous ex who cannot let go, but I actually think her trauma is way more complex than that. Gwen suffers from the most severe, crippling abandonment issues of anyone currently walking the streets of Salem. Think about it. Her entire life has been defined by rejection, starting from the moment her father, Jack Devereaux, failed her. Since she arrived in town, every single time Gwen finds even a tiny sliver of happiness, she either spectacularly self-sabotages it, or someone cruelly rips it away from her. Remember the horrific lengths she went to during her bitter feud with her half-sister, Abigail? Gwen has always felt like the unloved outsider, the dirty secret that nobody wanted. Xander was supposed to be her safe harbor. He was the one guy who looked at all her messy, toxic flaws and accepted her anyway. Losing him isn't just a breakup for Gwen. It is a total validation of her deepest, darkest fear that she is fundamentally unlovable. And now, Gwen is standing in that suffocating hallway, about to face the ultimate manifestation of her worst nightmares. It's one thing to lose the man you love. It's an entirely different level of psychological torture to lose him to Kristen DiMera. We all know that Gwen has been driving herself crazy with paranoia over Xander's lingering connection to his ex-wife, Sarah Horton. She's been watching Sarah and Brady Black get closer, and she's been trying to use Xander's jealousy to her own advantage. But Sarah is a saint compared to the monster lurking behind that hotel room door. Sarah might be the love of Xander's life, but Kristen is a toxic, manipulative predator who consumes souls for breakfast. For Gwen, realizing that Xander is in there with Kristen is a betrayal that cuts straight to the bone. It means Xander isn't just seeking comfort, he is actively choosing the darkness. The fact that Gwen is refusing to walk away, pounding her fists against that door, shows just how desperately she is clinging to the last shred of her sanity. She needs to see it with her own eyes, even if the truth destroys her completely. But here's the kicker. Why on earth is Xander in that room in the first place? I mean, seriously, what is going through this man's head? Xander Kiriakis has spent years trying to scrub the mercenary blood off his hands. He has fought so hard to prove to Maggie, to Sarah, and to himself that he can be a good man, a worthy father to baby Victoria. Yet, the second things get complicated, the second he feels the sting of Sarah moving on with Brady, he completely spirals. He reverts right back to his worst, most destructive instincts. A lot of viewers are furious with Xander right now, screaming at their screens for him to walk away. But I think this move, while a huge mistake, makes perfect sense for his character. Kristen isn't just offering him a romp in the sheets. She has been actively seducing him into a deadly hitman plot to take out her own brother, EJ DiMera. Kristen is playing on Xander's financial insecurities, his rage, and his innate capacity for violence. By stepping into that hotel room with Kristen, Xander is essentially giving up on his redemption arc. He is letting the devil whisper in his ear, and Gwen is the only thing standing between him and total moral collapse. Now, let's talk about the woman pulling all the strings. I have to confess something right here and now. I am passionately, madly in love with Kristen DiMera as a villain. She is operating at absolute peak performance right now, and Stacey Hyduck is delivering a masterclass in soap opera wickedness. Amazing. Kristen DiMera thrives on the absolute misery of other people. She doesn't just want to win, she wants to watch her enemies bleed out emotionally. If we look back 5, 7, or even 10 years ago, Kristen's track record is a graveyard of ruined lives. Remember when she stole Teresa Donovan's embryo from her womb and implanted it in herself to give birth to Tate? Or when she drugged Sarah Horton, shoved her in a trunk, and shipped her off to a deserted island just to steal her life wearing a hyper-realistic mask? That is the level of psychotic dedication we are dealing with here. Kristen ruins lives simply for the sheer thrill of it. She gets high on the chaos. And let's be brutally honest, she doesn't even want Xander. She doesn't love him, she doesn't care about his future, and she certainly doesn't want to play stepmom to baby Victoria. So, what is Kristen's endgame with this steamy hotel rendezvous? It is purely 100% about power manipulation and inflicting pain. Kristen knows exactly what she is doing by getting cozy with Xander. She knows Gwen is unhinged, deeply insecure, and prone to explosive meltdowns. I firmly believe that Kristen orchestrated this entire scenario specifically hoping that Gwen would find out. She wants to watch Gwen Rizczech completely break down. There is a sick, twisted part of Kristen that enjoys marking her territory, proving that she can snap her fingers and make any man in Salem do her bidding. By seducing Xander, she is hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. She secures her lethal pawn to eliminate EJ, and she gets a front row seat to the spectacular implosion of Gwen's fragile world. It's diabolical, it's cruel, and is exactly why Kristen is the undisputed queen of Salem's underworld. You just love to hate her, and you hate to love her. And you won't believe what happens next. Or at least, what I am predicting is going to happen when Xander finally relents and opens that hotel room door. When that latch clicks, Gwen Rizczech is going to unleash absolute hell. We are going to see a volcanic eruption of grief, betrayal, and pure, unadulterated rage. Gwen is going to scream, she's going to cry, she might even throw a lamp or two, but the real scene stealer isn't going to be Gwen's meltdown, it's going to be Kristen's reaction. I predict that Kristen DiMera is just going to stand there, wrapped in a silk robe, holding a glass of champagne, with an incredibly smug, chilling smile plastered across her face. She won't yell back. She won't defend herself. She will just stand there, soaking in Gwen's agony like it's a day at the spa. Kristen will know in that exact moment that she has successfully and permanently destroyed Gwen and Xander's relationship forever. And the worst part? Xander will be standing there looking like a deer in the headlights, realizing he just threw away the one woman who unconditionally loved him for a woman who is just using him as a disposable weapon. The fallout from this single hotel room confrontation is going to send massive shockwaves throughout the entire canvas. If Gwen catches them, there is no coming back from this. Their relationship is dead and buried. But what does a heartbroken, betrayed Gwen Rizczech do next? A scorned Gwen is a highly dangerous Gwen. Will she run straight to the cops, or to EJ DiMera to blow the whistle on Kristen's assassination plot? We already know Gwen has been pushing her bestie, Leo Stark, to write a massive expose on EJ's failing resurrection science regarding Lexi Carver. What's stopping her from turning that journalistic weapon onto Kristen and Xander? I think this betrayal is going to push Gwen into a dark, vindictive era where she decides to burn the entire DiMera and Kiriakis empires to the ground. And honestly, I am entirely here for it. I want to see Gwen stop crying over men who treat her like garbage and start playing the villain herself. At the end of the day, this storyline is giving us everything we crave from a daytime drama. High stakes, psychological warfare, legacy villains doing what they do best, and deeply flawed characters making the absolute worst decisions possible. Xander is playing with fire, Kristen is holding the blowtorch, and Gwen is about to get burned alive. It's tragic, it's beautiful, and it is peak Days of Our Lives. I cannot wait to see how this explosive confrontation plays out on our screens. Will Xander realize his mistake before it's too late? Will Kristen get away with her sinister games yet again? Or will Gwen finally snap and take them both down? Let me know your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments below. Do you think Xander is too far gone? Are you Team Gwen or Team Kristen in this epic showdown? Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, keep the hourglass turning.